Okay. So I pretty much destroyed everything in that fucking building, because I was mad with the table leg. hmm And the whole time, fucking users filming it and then it dawned on me as it was happening. It's like, oh goddamn, this is a fucking setup. Like I already know that like Skank is here, and KKK Reject does not like that kid. At one point when we were in junior high, she overdosed. And he let her lay up in the fucking bed for 3 days before he finally took her to the hospital. Um, because she's a burden. She's an enormous fucking burden. She's a burden to everybody and everyone, and even her own family started to fucking see it. But y'all was the one that fucking spoiled her like that. So you got this fucking, burdenous kid with that's has an intellectual disability, and then also is flat fucking crazy and enormously spoiled and has never been corrected. And yeah, she's like a little fucking psychopath. Right. That's what she is. And so it dawned on me, it's like, is he trying to get me to fucking kill his kid and tape it so he can what? You know? So I didn't injure anyone. So no charges came of that, but they did try to have me committed. And yeah, they tried to have me committed over it to a mental institution. And so we did land up in court over that. Ended up in court when they're trying to get me committed, and for tearing everything up. And and then I was told I was not to have any more emotional outbursts, or I would be committed. So no more emotional outbursts from me, and that's what they told me. And then so I'm like sitting back down there, and everything's all put back right, and Steven's working there again. And then he starts like fucking breaking up with me. Dude, right? He says, well, we can't see each other anymore. I was like, I wasn't really aware that we were in a relationship. Right. And I said, well, no, I'm being serious here. And he's like breaks up with me 10 times in a fucking row. And I'm just like, are you just fucking with me, man? Are you just fucking with me? Right? Because I've already been told I can't have any emotional outburst anymore. And then I got this fucking guy, KKK Reject, still like up and around, and you know, walking around like he's a fucking yeah, king shit at Turd Mountain there. And right, like, dude, you don't work here. You don't work here. And and you don't have any business here. You don't work here. And right. And he's in there and he does that fucking thing that I hate that men do. Because we're sitting there at the desk thing. And this is long desk thing. And I'm sitting there and he comes in there and then I don't know, it's so gross when men do it. Like you're sitting somewhere and then they put their fucking foot up on the counter and stick their groin in your face. Like what the fuck? Why? Just, you're gonna have to pay for all this. I was like, is there anyone else that ever fucking pays for anything here? Ever? Because that's also the thing. Um, I was left a sum of money and that business and some others when I was 3. So that's mine. That's all mine. And and that's why they tried to drag me into court and showed that fucking video in court of my psychotic break is what they called it. And right, I'm trying to explain it. P&L. I said, well, no, 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 look how much money it was, and look at how much money they lost. You'd lose it too, you know, and Yeah. So, right. If you knew how much goddamn, money, look at all the money they lost. Look at all this money. And they're my fiscal guardians, these people. And the fiscal guardians, that was established when I was, I don't know, three, maybe four. I might have been four by the time it got all set into place because I inherited all that stuff when I was three from a deceased relative. And then the courts gave my mother fiscal custody, and then my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, had a guardianship, and then I have a guardian ad litem, which has to do with this still. Still, even as an adult, I still have a guardian ad litem. hmm And then, um, and then the fourth part was this these the fiscal guardians. This fiscal guardianship is what they called it back in the 70s. And I was a toddler when it was established, and this is already been going on. This point, I'm 15, so it's more than 10 years that these people have made a living lying, cheating, and stealing off of me, and that's who they are. And they call themselves back then, and still even now, um, they call themselves the board. Um, the board. And then, right, the fiscal guardianship, the people that sat on that group, uh, none of them are of any relation to me, and they call themselves the board. And then, right, because they like to pile the fucking abuse all the way the fuck on. Um, the board is also when I was a child and they were making those BDSM videos of me, the instrument they used to beat me with, which was just a very large paddle of an oak 2x6, and it was a very large paddle. Um, that's what that was called as well, the board. So it wasn't just that they did abuse me, it was also the never anything, any little sassiness, any, right. I told you and you didn't fucking hop to right goddamn now. Do you need to talk to the board? Like, that's what the fuck. And so the whole time, and then that man that they had arranged me to, that old man that they wanted me to marry, he sat on the board, and that's how I was supposed to get my fucking money. And it was like, nah, uh, no, 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 no. Young girls marry old ass motherfuckers for their money, not for their money. I don't have to marry this fucking, I don't have to marry the crypt keeper to get my own goddamn fucking money. That's ridiculous. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. And, no, I'm not going to marry this fucking old ass fucking Klansman to get my own goddamn money. Fuck that shit. How is this legal? Uh, because you gave some cocaine. Good for you. And, that's how it's legal. Because the fucking judge said it was. Right? Right? That's how the fuck. And, mhm, yeah, fucking Judge Cokehead did it. And, and most of the times, for most of the hearings, I was not allowed representation. Hmm. Well, you don't need representation. We're your representation. You don't get representation against your representation. All right. Mhm. So that's what this is, and that's why, and that's why. And then they also make further excuses for the abuse. Well, hey, that abuse was to make you strong enough so that you'd be able to manage this money. Ain't none of you bitches can fucking balance a checkbook. And I don't think beating kids is how you teach that. I'm no expert, but I don't think beating the shit out of a fucking kid teaches them how to balance a checkbook. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Right. So that's what the fuck's going on. That's absolutely what the fuck's going on. And Yeah, that's why, anyway, that's that. And then afterwards, I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I drink for the next 8 months. Um, right? 'Cause I'm not allowed, I've been, I'm not allowed any emotional outbursts. And, I'm somewhat animated when you talk to me in person. So, yeah, yeah. So it was that. And also, they like to get me riled up. They like to fucking push those buttons and fuck with me and, all of that shit. So they're like trying to trigger emotional outbursts. And I didn't have any people in my life. I don't have any good, right? At that point, as a teen, I didn't have any sort of real support system, or I got the fucking guys at bingo, um, that are good to talk about with some shit, but you know, not for your emotional problems. And I was denied at court therapy. They said, well, is there anything that you could use? And I said, I could really use therapy for being like real. I could use some therapy. Oh, well, that doesn't fall into the preview of this court, or is to be provided by the fiscal guardianship. You got to get your mom. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Right. That doesn't fall into the preview of this court. Like any motherfucking thing I need. That doesn't fall into the preview of this court. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad. Right. And then there was also the additional problem is how, Skanka got so fucking spoiled, was that's where the money that was supposed to go to my support was actually going. So it's not enough that you're lying and cheating and stealing from a little fucking kid. You're also committing a fraud. A fraud. Just flat out. That's just fucking fraud. Uh, and producing receipts to your goddamn good buddy, the fucking judge, who says, "Oh, did you go get some horseback riding lessons?" Fucking no. I didn't go to no goddamn no, 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 no. I'm not a member of the fucking golf course. What is this? And that's all the things that they bought for themselves and their family, and then fraudulently, mhm, said it was for me. Like, so all of their expenses, all of the fucking, highfalutin shit they wanted to fucking do with their fucking, backwards ass redneck fucking hick feels. I swear to fucking God. And so all the shit they want to fucking do, they're like doing, and then saying it's for me, for my upkeep. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it is just it's so much fraud. And it's just nothing. Oh, this is all fraud. See, look at this, just fraud. And that's what the fuck. And then there's also a shit ton of fucking court orders that I ain't supposed to be fucking talking about, but I don't fucking care anymore. Um, I didn't sign an NDA. They got a power of attorney and signed an NDA for me, so I ain't even allowed to talk about this. But fuck you. I'm talking about it anyway. Fuck you. I don't care. Sue me and drag my actual motherfucking ass to court.